everybody, and welcome to my comic book / car boot haul. I've done a few of these car boot haul videos before. This one's going to be slightly different because this is going to cover the span of about a week, and that's because over the last week I've bought loads of cool shit. so yeah, I've got lots to get through, which is this pile here and this other pile here. So yeah, I'm going to kick it off. So the first thing that I did was on Bank Holiday Monday, which is the 31st of May. I went to Melton Mowbray. I didn't find much, but I did get this AQUAMAN War for the Throne graphic novel, which is pretty cool. Looking forward to reading it. The only downside is that it's one of the ones that DC tend to do, where they're like, oh, we've got a new movie coming out, let's do covers of graphic novels that include the movie version instead of the comic book version, which, to be fair, it does look awesome, but you know, when you turn around, that's the version of AQUAMAN that's in this book, not that one. So you know, it's one of them. It's still going to be good, enjoyable read, I'm assuming. It's one that I've got for myself, and I am on eBay, and I do resell quite a lot of stuff. My eBay username's Team Venom Media 2017, because that's when I started on there. Over 100 graphic novels on there, but they're all my doubles, so I'll go out, but I go through these car boot hauls, a lot of the time I'll be getting a big pile of comics and stuff, and then when I get home, discovering that I've got half of them already, because my own graphic novel collection is nearing the 1,000 mark with them. So yeah, so that's one that I definitely haven't got, so I'm quite chuffed with that. Then so that was Bank Holiday Monday. On the Tuesday, I went to Nottingham, and I met up with a friend of the show, Rich Perotta, who's been interviewed for our YouTube channel 3 times now, 2 exclusive ones and one as part of a comic show that we were trying out. And basically, met up with him, and that was cool. That sound bloke. Yeah, just genuinely nice bloke. And one of the things that I'd found out after our interviews and such with him was I opened up one of my graphic novels, which is Grant Morrison's Imperial. Obviously at the bottom it's got Morrison, Quitely, Cordy and Van Scryer, but when you go inside it, right there on the inks page, let's just bring this up to the panel, is Rich Perotta's name on there. So didn't know that until after we'd interviewed him, so I was a bit gutted because I would have asked him about them on the interviews. So I took this book with me, and Rich signed it for me on one of the pages that he's worked on. So that's pretty cool. So thank you, Rich. That was awesome of you. And you know, that's one of my favourite graphic novel runs. One of my favourite comic runs was Grant Morrison's New X-Men, and the Uncanny X-Men stuff that went alongside it by Chuck Austin's like one of my favourites as well. So yeah, so that's just pretty damn cool to have one of those volumes signed. So I was quite chuffed with that. Also in Nottingham, I found a few other bits and pieces, and I got this was just purely for my son, which was the Batman Fortnite 0 Point issue 2. They're selling out everywhere because they have a little code in the back, which I've just put my finger on over there, but obviously it's been used by my lad. So there's that, and that's a really good sort of issue as well. I've ended up reading them, and it's becoming like a slight guilty pleasure of mine, because if anyone's had to play Fortnite and such, which I have many times with my son, with him being 8, there's no rhyme or reason to the actual main game mode on there, the Battle Royale mode and whatnot, whereas that fleshes it out quite a lot, to the point where it makes the game more enjoyable when you play it, because you know, you got the context and that sort of thing. So there's that. I then went into Forbidden Planet, and I had a rummage through a 50p box that they had, which was amazing. I didn't realise that Forbidden Planet did those things, because I've not seen them in there before, so I rummaged through everything and got what I could out there. So this is one thing I picked up, which is number 1 of Over the Ropes. Obviously big wrestling fan, and this is a wrestling related comic book, so I just thought, give it a try, see what it's like, and that's pretty cool. I've got to put them on that side, because if I put them over there, I'm putting them on the pile of stuff to talk about, so that's not good. A couple of episodes ago, I was talking about the Alan Moore From Hell graphic novel, which is awesome, and I found 2 issues of the colorized version, which are in their own miniature graphic novel formats themselves, and because initially it was all in black and white, and this has all been completely colorized and such, and they're really nice. And their standard pricing on each issue is on the back of $6.99 in the UK, $7.99 in the US, and $10.99 Canadian dollars. Poor Canada having the lowest value on those. I also picked up Spider-Woman issue 1, and that's from the current run of Spider-Woman as well. Issues 1 and 2 of Death to Army of Darkness, which is something that I've always sort of contemplated picking up but never really gotten into, is the Army of Darkness comics. I had the Army of Darkness versus Marvel Zombie series, and that was pretty cool. Loved the Army of Darkness movie, loved the 2 Evil Dead films that came before it, loved the reboot of Evil Dead as well, even though loads of people hated it, and loved the Ash versus Evil Dead series. So I got these just to have a read, and they're actually really enjoyable, so I'd recommend them as well. I picked up the issue 1 of Annihilation Scourge Nova, and that's pretty cool. And that's where Richard Rider's just come back after being trapped in the Cancerverse for ages. It's one of those things where I know of this and I've not read it, and it's really enjoyable. It's basically him helping out Annihilus because of the negative zone being infected by the Cancerverse and stuff, and it's really good read. I got issue 40 of Avengers, which is about 5 or 6 issues behind, and this is Enter the Phoenix Part 1, which is pretty cool because that's a really great jumping on point. So I had a read through it. It's where essentially Phoenix is coming back to Earth, and all the Avengers and various other Marvel characters are having to sort of battle it out to see who's going to be the first host for the new Phoenix. I also picked up Wonder Woman issue 750, picked that up twice. That's one of those is more than likely going to be on there. Nice little graphic novel format of these as well because they're nice and oversized. Picked up another copy of Over the Ropes, and that's because that's got to go in a package to my broadcasting buddy Connor Franks, so you're welcome, Connor. And I also the last thing I picked up was Adler issue 2. I've got all of these already. The sole reason I picked this up though is because the artist Paul McCaffrey, and he's been on our show before, one of my occasional drinking buddies and such, and great stuff. And I know they did various covers with it, so I picked this up in the hopes that it was one of the covers that I hadn't got, but I have. So yeah, there's that, and that's all I got from Nottingham. Then one of the things that I also had on Monday that I forgot about, I had a delivery from Lee Cope, which was issues 6 and 7 of Beyond the End of My Street, as well as 3, 4, and 5 for Connor. So there's that too. I've now got first prints of 1 to 7, which is pretty cool because I know that there are quite a lot of people that are requesting his first issue, but you know, I've got one. Haha. so yeah, no. Thank you, Lee. And also, just for a bit of context, Lee is my cousin-in-law. So I've been keeping an eye on his project every now and again, and it's cool to be able to actually collect all of those up. So yeah, cheers for that, dude. Next thing I've got was Friday I had a nice little delivery of my own, and that was basically I've had 50 copies of my own graphic novel here, oversized, like A4 size, so just to show you a bit of comparison against the normal comic. Let's put the Adler one up there. So obviously comic book and graphic novel size is that, so mine's a little bit bigger, but it's beautiful, great graphic novel, nice printed spines and all that sort of stuff. Collects issues 1 to 4 of the suit in all their glory. There's a little raisin head in a jar, and yeah, it's just probably shouldn't have pointed that out, that's actually a spoiler, but anyway, that's nice format that's come. So anyone that's interested in those, I've got them on eBay at the moment, happy to sign every one of them, and I'm also more than happy to discount it down for anyone that's had any previous issues. So if you have any previous issues off me, just drop me a message and I'll happily do that. The other thing that came was my proof copy for issue 5 of the suit. So obviously that graphic novel is 1 to 4, and that's the first book. My issue 5 is book 2 issue 1 sort of thing, and it's alright. The only disappointing thing is that it's got the stapled instead of the spine, which normal comic books are stapled. But for my and for all the Team Venom comics that we've done so far, including Connor's Sins of Limbo, all of these have nice little spines on there, which is why we use the printers that we go to. Obviously, you can see from there there's a big difference in each spine, which is a shame, because that's one of the regular ongoing issues that we have with them. But yeah, so we've had issue 5. I've had the brief of that come through, and it's well, I don't know what to make of it. To be fair, quality's great, cover's great, and everything. It's all turned out all right. It's just the spine thing, so I don't know what to do for the best. So just as an aside, if you guys could take a quick gander at these on your screen, and then also the spines, and just let me know in the comment section whether you think the spines or staples are better, then please do so, because that's great. That'd be a great help, just to inform my thing of what to do with them. So yeah, then on Saturday morning I went to Stratford upon Avon. They have a really big car boot there. I picked up The Walking Dead Volume 16, A Larger World. That was £1, so you know, again, like the Aquaman one, it's something that I haven't got, so I've got quite a lot of the Walking Dead ones, but I sort of pick them up every now and again. So I'm quite looking forward to reading that, although I've probably read it already digitally, because I've had most of them digitally. I then picked up Endangered Species Chapter 1, which is issue 200 of X-Men, and that was the Endangered Species was the backup story. So it was a bit strange that it got the front page attention on here and the cover attention, but it's essentially, let me just flick through this and find this for you. Yeah, the actual, it's an oversized issue, and Endangered Species itself is like the last 5 pages or something like that. Yeah, that's it. And a lot of these are like checklists, so that is your Endangered Species story, and the rest is your main story. And yet Endangered Species gets the cover mention. Mental, isn't it? Anyway, so that was £1, and in the same box they had a load of Batman stuff, and one of the coolest things I found in there was the last Batman before the New 52 launch. So this is issue 713 of Batman, and the last one they did before the reboot. And the cool thing on there is there we go, there is the name Perotta on there, which is the chap that I mentioned earlier that I met up with on Tuesday, who's been on our thing our shows a few times, and that's Rich Perotta, because he had a good 10 years working at DC and a 10-year stint with a 10-year stint with Marvel. And yeah, basically I found the last Batman before the New 52, and it's got his work, so that's great. So I'm going to have to keep that safe for whenever I next go and meet him, as I'm going to with this. And I'm going to just quickly drop a picture up for you. Okay, so that picture was of this at a market stall in Stratford upon Avon. It was there's like a collector's stall that does lots of comics. This is the Wolverine annual from 2001, so 20 years ago, and it's £4. And normally these sorts of things, like car boots and stuff, you only expect to pay like 50p to £1 max on comics, but this was a special exception, because as with the Batman one, this one was also done by Rich Perotta as well, which is pretty awesome. So it's one of those bizarre things where I've been making sure that I sort of keep an eye out for stuff where it's people that I know of and things like that, and then happened across those 2 issues from him in one day, which was awesome. So yeah, anyway, that's my comic book haul for the week. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and yeah, anything that you've liked in there, please hit me up in the comments. Certain things will be going on my web store and on eBay where if they're duplicates. Also, I'd like to briefly give a shout out to another project that we're doing, which is Taste of the Indies. That's a monthly digital freeview magazine that we're doing. So that's over on teamvenommedia.co.uk, and also on the Facebook page of facebook.com/Taste of the Indies. That's got interviews with various comic book creators, exclusive previews and reviews on certain things in there as well. So it's worth, it's free. It's a free download. Jump on there, see what you think, and yeah. And if you've liked the video, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't liked it, go on, give it the thumbs down. I don't give a shit. It's fine. as long as you're watching it and interacting, that's all good with me. So yeah, and then obviously please subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and if you are subscribed already, thank you very much. Mad respect. So anyway, I've been Rory. You can find me on Twitter at king_roaster, and that's it. So yeah, peace out.